And now another exciting episode of Dan versus Fish on Fishin Affliction TV.
Well, folks, this is why you keep at it. Let me see if I can get this fraybill net on this crappie real quick. Well, folks, on this featurette of Dan versus Fish, we're going to be doing a little vertical jigging for some largemouth and some crappie on Old Hickory Lake and doing a few new tricks with some old baits. I'm going to be throwing a vertical bait here in just a few minutes, and I'm going to leave the original stock treble hooks that are on there. But if I don't pick up a bite, something as simple and as subtle as changing the color, well, sometimes that's not subtle to the fish. Maybe that's the exact thing they might want. Always a great option to have in your boat, these Mustad dressed treble hooks. Folks, head on over to Mustad's website and check out the incredible line of hooks that they have. They have every hook that you can conceivably think of and things that you have never even thought of. And so much of what they have is for these wonderful applications that we get the fish here in Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky, whatever it is. The Southeast is a measuring stick for a company like Mustad, and they want to keep anglers like you and I extremely happy with the products that they make, and they do an excellent job of doing that. I'm going to head on out to that deep water and see if we can catch something. Well, folks, this is why you keep at it. Let me see if I can get this fraybill net on this crappie real quick. I don't know, I'm gonna have to swing. I got my net tied down. Let's see. Strike King made a blade bait many, many years ago, of which I've been able to get a bunch of them from Rusty. And just great baits. But I'll tell you what, vertical jigging up a crappie out of 25 feet of water, huh? Looking for a little bit of structure and also looking for a little bit of a depth change. And of course, if you get the bait, that's even better. But how about that, folks? What a blessing to be out here, and what a blessing to catch a beautiful fish like this. That's a nice slab. All right, put him in the well. Look at here, folks, another crappie. Another slab. Whew. But how about that? Throwing that old Strike King old blade bait and another slab. Now we got a meal because we've got another one in there, so that's awesome. Let's see if we catch another one. The fight is on. I don't know what it is. Must be a catfish. Staying straight down. It's out in the open water. I think I might have it. By the tail, maybe? I don't know. Hard to say when you're vertically jigging. Let me get the old standby fraybill net right there. How about that, folks? How about this? Oh man, I tell you what, that's a dandy right there. How about an Old Hickory? Big hit. Look how big that fish is. Woo! Now that right there is a vertical jigging fish on Old Hickory Lake, especially in some really neat conditions. It's like April out here, water temperatures in the low 50s. But folks, it's early February. It's hard to believe that you can catch a fish just like that. What a big old fish right there. Caught on an old Strike King blade bait. Those old baits, don't ever put them up forever. You know, there comes a point maybe they're valuable as antiques, but they can sure still catch a bunch of fish. And this is a proof. What a beautiful, beautiful fish. Look how big the belly is from eating on all those shad. Just great. I'm gonna get this fish back in the water. Well, folks, those old baits are sometimes the exact bait that you should be using. And remember one thing about those old baits. At one time, they were new, and they were built with that same innovative process to be catching the fish back then, just like they are today. I'm gonna tie me on a few more old Strike King baits and catch a few more of these fish. Appreciate you watching this little episode of Dan versus Fish, and now back to Fishin Affliction. Where are those old baits here? Oh, here we go.